I spent one day actually in Mombasa on the streets itself and waking up boys lying under cars. It's 38 degrees, there's traffic everywhere and they're lying under cars. And when you wake them up, they're totally out of it, totally glazed over because of the glue that they sniff. And you know, they have to sniff glue to try and suppress their hunger. I went to one of the local manyatas in Maasai, where the Maasai live, in the Mara. So I went there and took some colouring in books and sat down with the children. I mean, I wanted to spend longer with the kids, really. So I knew that I had to go back and do some teaching. So I flew out to Kenya and went to volunteer with the Grandsons of Abraham project, which is run by the Sisters of St. Joseph, based in Mombasa. They're a Catholic sisterhood. For the first 3 days, I was in Mikindani, which is a project, a drop-in centre for the project, and it's a place where any boy off the street can go and have something to eat and sleep. So I did that, spent 3 days with them, beading activities. They didn't have a huge concentration span because they're all coming off the glue sniffing, which is a huge, major problem. I then went up to the main rehabilitation centre in Kikambala. The kids, there were one or two that always sort of misbehaved or what have you, but you know, they all have hearts of gold. They're all so welcoming and run up to the gate saying, Karibu, Jambo, and it's quite amazing when you think of the harrowing stories that each and every one of them has. And I learnt quite a lot about their backgrounds, and when you know that, you look at these little boys in a very different way. And there was one family that I sort of followed particularly, a little boy called Martin and his brother Bryson. Martin was 7 and Bryson's 9. They never knew their father, and their mother died of malaria 3 years ago. I took Bryson home to meet his aunts, and he was going to stay there for the weekend. We got on the matatu and travelled the hour down the coast. And I met both of his aunts, both in their 20s, both got children themselves, I think 21 and 23. And they had no money to keep these boys, so Bryson and Martin ended up fending for themselves on the streets. So it was fascinating to sit in their little house and chat to them about their life. And I just can't believe how privileged I am. I got some fantastic questions too. I mean, they couldn't believe that in England we have no elephants. Their faces, they really weren't very impressed by that. Some of them walk 2 hours to school and back, start at 8 and finish at 3. And up until the week I started, there was no lunch for any of them. There was no funding. So they, the week I got there, they managed to raise some funds, and they were all given a mug of porridge at lunchtime, and their faces were just a picture. And their concentration span, obviously, after lunch is so much better. Absolutely fantastic children, very shy at the beginning, of me particularly, and I think I made quite a few babies cry because they'd never seen Mzungu before, a white person.
Good morning, teacher! Good morning, children. Okay, family words. What's the father, mother, daughter, cousin, nephew, niece, grandfather, grandmother, aunt, uncle, sister, brother, friend.
I was teaching English and geography and maths, you know, all kinds of things. Even had a go at religious education. Their classrooms, as you can see, are very, very bare. It's very sparse. They've got hardly any textbooks or pencils or pens, and the place is in need of some serious money. I was in Sosambo just for just over a week, which was nothing at all. It was because I had 10 days free, and I was very fortunate enough that I knew some people who were able to get me a place to stay, and I could do something worthwhile with my 10 days that I had.
wasimu eyalyampaga ennyo bwetunywa nakya yagala atamidde nga n'endusu zitandise okukenena.
One striking memory I'll always have is that these people have nothing, but yet they're so happy.
olwamala okunziba nakya teyava mpita ati